Hey you, welcome. Let me show you how I made these teal and gold Colorshift coasters. And today I'm using a new resin that I'd never used before. Stick around to the very end to find out what kind of resin it is. I am using Black Sea Mica, just 1 spoonful of that as the main color, which is like a teal with a gold color shift in it. And I use Ocean Green alcohol ink. I started with 5 drops. That wasn't quite enough, so I added 5 more to get the color that I wanted. Still translucent, but it lended that teal color to the clear. And for my accent in the center of these coasters, I'm going to use Unicorn Art Gold Nuggets. I started out with silver flakes and had to ditch that because they kind of clashed with the gold that you see in that color shift in the mica. These gold nuggets are just so pretty in the clear centers, and hopefully I'll be able to pour these and get that nice clear center. I started with the darkest on the outer circle. I poured a little too much in the first one and had to reserve and get to that last one. I was hoping, I wasn't going to have to mix up some more resin. And then next to that, touching the sides, I poured in the resin mixed with alcohol ink. I mixed up a total of, I think, 8 ounces. No, it was 12 ounces. So I thought I was going to have enough to go around and pop those little bubbles. This resin has so few bubbles. That is the one thing I found about it, that it was really fantastic. And it also had a bit of a longer working time than I'm used to with the resin that I normally use. What I was hoping for with this project is that this resin would give me those beautiful striations that you see with mica powder when you do this pouring technique. I haven't been able to get that with the resin I normally use, and I'm not sure if it was because it's just too high of a viscosity, but we'll see what happens with this one. This resin also didn't have very much of a smell at all, and it is clearly a lower viscosity than what I'm used to working with. It's almost a little watery, but not too much. I popped those very few bubbles there with a torch that I got. I didn't see any bubbles when I was mixing it, which is just crazy to me. That's usually the main problem, right? And it is very clear. It has great clarity. And somehow I managed to get cat hairs in them, and there's never been a cat in this room. So here's 16 hours later, and you can see those beautiful striations that I was hoping for. So success on that front. At 16 hours curing, they were still pretty bendy. So I did come back after 24 hours just to see if they had finished curing, and they have not. They are still just as bendy as they were at 16 hours, which is a little bit concerning because 24 hours curing with moss epoxy, which is what I normally use, and they're hard as a rock, and they, 3 days they're ready to go. But I have a feeling that's not going to be the case with this particular resin. So even though I poured a little too much into one of them, they all came out pretty evenly, and I really love this particular color of mica powder. I need to think of another project to do with it. Both sides look pretty neat. So watch the unmolding of the third one, and you'll see how bendy they are. Yeah, this one was just absolutely floppy. I've heard other people say they had trouble with this particular resin never curing due to possibly improper mixing. And I mix very carefully down to the milliliter, so I know it wasn't improperly mixed or improperly stirred. So we'll see what happens. Thank you so much for watching. And if you'd like to see more of these videos, then subscribe to my channel. So I try to make a video of each one that I make. And surprise, here's the resin I was using. Dr. Crafty's resin and hardener that I purchased from someone in a Facebook group. So I'm hoping it wasn't a bad lot.